What's up guys, this is CV's Mockingbird here with episode 1 of Guild Wars 2 Fix. Today we're going to be taking a look at my all-purpose warrior build. This build is incredibly versatile, and today we're going to look at the PvE, PvP, and world versus world potential. So, let's go ahead and get started with a general overview of the build. The weapon that you're going to be using most for PvP is going to be your hammer. The weapon that you're going to be using most for PvE though is going to be your rifle. There's a reason for this, and I'll get into it later, but for now let's go ahead and go over the utility skills. As you can see, 4 of my utility skills are signets. The reason for this comes from the traits, and I'll discuss it in just a second. All that you need to know is that the reason that I take 4 signets instead of 5 is because I think that you need more gap closing in this build for the PvP. Okay, so going into the traits, I take 30 in arms, 30 in defense, and 10 into discipline. The minor traits are the same as every other warrior build with these stats, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the major traits. First I take deep strikes. This is warrior's bread and butter right now. It's plus 40 precision for each unused signet, and that's the reason that I'm taking 4 signets. You'll see some warriors running a rifle build that takes 5 signets, but I feel like this is a waste of the warrior's AoE CC potential. Next is going to be gun mastery. This is 20% faster recharge on rifle skills. This is mostly useful for PvE, but it does have its benefits in PvP as well. Next is sniper, which is going to make all of our rifle shots pierce. The reasons for this being beneficial are pretty obvious. Next we go 30 into defense, and here we take blunt weapon master, which is going to give us 15% reduced cooldown on all of our hammer skills. The reason that this is really an important trait, and the reason for this is because when you're using your hammer, you're trying to keep them chain CC'd using these 5 skills, and this helps you to do that. Next is cold weak, which is 5% increased damage to weakened foes. Because of your fierce blows, your foes are going to be weakened 2/3 of the time, so it's 5% increased DPS 2/3 of the time. This is merciless hammer, which is improved hammer damage by 25% when the foe is knocked down. This is another reason that bull charge is such a good skill. Between these two, you're going to get 4 seconds of 25% increased DPS on a target, and that's enough burst to kill somebody. Last is going to be signet mastery. The reason for this is because it combos well with deep strikes. If you have to use your signets to remove CC to gain power or to heal yourself, this is going to help you get those signets up even faster. That's a general overview of the level 80 potential of this build, but let's go ahead and go into what really matters. Anybody can handle simple questing and easy pulls, but because of the current spawn system, one must be ready to deal with a situation when a pull becomes chaotic. Melee's not bad at this, but it requires more on-the-fly clutch thinking. Range, on the other hand, requires a thorough understanding of kiting and the use of dodge rolls. Range is always going to be safer than melee, even on an easy pull, because range is always going to lose less life, and that's why for this build, I tend to use my rifle in PvP. When things begin to go wrong, remember that the game was meant to be that way. Guild Wars pulls should feel more chaotic and action-packed than what you may be used to. Keep a cool head and you're always going to come out on top. Now, let's watch an example of both weapon sets in this build, and see which one does better when the situation goes wrong. Wow, that was close. This time let's try using a rifle. There, much cleaner than the first pull. Now that we've taken a look at the build's abilities in PvE, let's go ahead and see how it does in PvP. Alright guys, before we get started with the PvP footage, I wanted to give you guys some notes as to general advice on how to PvP on the Warrior in Guild Wars 2. My first piece of advice is to always try to maintain control of the fight. You want your opponent to do what you want them to do. You don't want your opponent doing whatever they want. Your best way of achieving this is through the use of your Great Hammer. Your rifle should only be used in order to prevent kiting. It should not be used as your primary weapon. The rifle is almost pure DPS, and as long as your opponents know how to dodge the correct attacks, you're not going to be able to kill them. Stick to your opponent with the hammer for maximum efficiency. And my final piece of advice, stall. Organized PvP is about time spent holding points. If you can 1v2 or 1v3 away from a point, you're giving your team more time to capture points. The Warrior is an excellent disruptor and should be used in this way as often as possible. And now without further ado, let's check out some clips from my very first game of PvP with this build. This way, you guys can get a look at what you might be able to expect from your first games on the Warrior. Alright guys, this first clip demonstrates a good use of the rifle as well as good use of stalling tactics on the Warrior. Okay, so as you can see, I've run across 4 of the enemy team and I'm going to try to pick this guy off using my rifle. I know that if I jump down there, I'm gonna die, so that's my reason for not going in with the Great Hammer. I'm taking a lot of damage, but all 4 of them are focused on me, and I've stopped them for now. Hopefully this means that somewhere else on the map, my team is able to win fights and take objectives. As you can see, I go down because I didn't use my heal correctly, but I know that I'm going to be able to get up in just a second, because they're not able to hit me from here. I'm going to throw out some hammers and some rocks, and then I'm going to get up, and now I'm already dead, so there's no reason not to jump back in at this point. All 4 of these guys are being distracted and CC'd by me, and hopefully this is going to help out my team as a whole. This next clip shows the strengths of the 5 Signet Warrior build, as well as illustrates the need to combo correctly whenever you're using your Great Hammer. As you can see, I run into another warrior and I begin a rifle fight. At this point, I notice that he's 5 Signet, so I try to close the distance. As I enter the room where the warrior was, I come across an elementalist and decide to fight him. At this point, I mess up my combo by trying to use my elite signet after I backbreak but before I staggering blow. Because of this, the elementalist is able to break my combo and get away. I try to charge at him, but it's no good. At this point I'm knocked down, but with a hammer and some good rocks I'm able to knock him down too. After a bit of lag, I get up using Vengeance in order to get the final blow. He sees this and tries to escape. I roll towards him and am able to secure the kill before I go down. This last clip illustrates a proper use of the Great Hammer combo. I back break into Earthshaker, followed up with a staggering blow and then a hammer shock. I quickly use Fierce Blow, but as he tries to run away, I use Bull Charge. This keeps him CC'd long enough for my team to pick up the kill. Alright guys, so the last thing I'm going to be doing here is going to be just a quick little live commentary on World vs. World for this build. World vs. World, this build is pretty limited. It's definitely its weakest aspect. We're losing pretty badly, by the way. We're the red team. We're Scavenger's Causeway. But the World vs. World it's not bad. You see a lot of people running duo melee builds in World vs. World, and basically they end up having to just sort of sit in the keep and not do anything, because jumping into that is suicide. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys something about firing your rifle. At certain angles, like this one right here, you're not going to be able to hit people from just standing in the keep. So what you need to do is you need to sort of jump up onto the ledge and kind of angle yourself down, like so. And now I'm hitting him. That's really the only not exactly straightforward thing about World vs. World PvP right now, is you gotta get up on the ledge. We're kind of getting destroyed here, but we'll see what I can do. Alright, I'm gonna back up a little. Oh, that guy's kind of low. Maybe I'll try to kill this guy. See if I can. Where's he at? Where is he? Oh, okay. Oh, he's getting real low. Alright. We're losing. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and suicide on this guy. Let me see. Where is he? Where's he running to? Oh. Okay, that was a big hit. You know what? I'm still just gonna go for it. Let's go ahead and jump on down here. Let's see. Try to Bull Charge him. I am low on HP. CC. Oh no, he had friends. Alright guys, that's basically it for the World vs. World. It's pretty limited. You really just need to sit up in your keep and hold on, and mess and just sort of shoot at him with your rifle. That's about all that you can do. As you can see, this guy's death shrouded, so I'm gonna die. But as far as jumping down goes, it's not really viable because you're just gonna die like I did. Alright guys, that concludes episode 1 of Guild Wars 2 Fix and the all-purpose warrior build. Episode 2 is going to be coming along shortly, and it's going to have footage from the new beta taking place this weekend, as well as more live PvP commentary. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this week's episode, and I hope that you learned from it. If you liked the video, and you want to see more, go ahead and like or subscribe and spread the word to your friends. Bye guys, and I'll see you all next week.